He's gonna change your life.
We are one. Let's go.
GSP, your 10-year anniversary. We ready?
We have the card in our hand. I'm planning to develop way many more things in the Lydian world with my team.
Thank you all for being here.
The founder, the chairman of the board, Joseph!
You are the first, and our company will be the first. I'm pretty sure that many more institutions will use our technology.
You love it? I love you too. Thank you very much. Let's celebrate 10 years. Thank you.
Welcome to the Lydian world, the blockchain game where you can earn, learn, and have fun. 2022, The world has changed. The internet changed. And the rise of the blockchain changed the entire industry and forced us to rethink. Blockchain gaming became the day-to-day opportunity to generate income. Some chase the mining, while others are doing the trading. The pursuit of our unlimited incoming resources has begun. Whatever it takes, leaving behind the unknown and embracing the new technology, the new era, the Lydian world. Here, the unlimited income resources are waiting to be claimed, but not without our engagement. We are the driving force of the Lydian world. We are the Lydians. The strategy is entirely in our hands, and we can choose which citizenship to get in order to build a future for our beloved ones. About mining or in need of a crypto-friendly credit card, a highly active trader who needs extra guidance, a developer who wants to promote his project, or a society-educated gamer who aims to make profits out of his own NFT shop and enjoys the time gaps with the Telegram trivia. You are connecting to the Lydian world incoming resources. Every single action of more than already 350,000 citizens is distributing rewards into Lydian world. Every time a card is swiped, every time an NFT transfer is completed, while you play, even while you sleep, Lydian world rewards you. It continues with a new vision, but do you know what marks the success? Perseverance, imagining the unimagined, and above all, possessing your own piece of virtual land to transform a grand idea into a grand reality. Pick a land. Press a button. Up you go. Behold your decentralized property, built to stand the test of time. Open your own business and share it with the others. From outwards to the city center area, until zone by zone, the city is taken over by its citizens. Multiple digital businesses rise alongside. A new era of luxury, shopping arcades, medical offices. Throw open their doors to an unlimited era, the blockchain. But something is missing. The design of your building is a way to define your own business, where you can approach your own digital architect. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. After all, with the power to create and trade, whoever holds the land NFT shapes the city forever. So, what is your vision?
All right, family. Greetings, everyone. How's everyone doing? Glad that you can make it to this brand new The Future of Money show. I'm your host for today, Fard Mac, the Supreme X family, CEO and founder of Fard Money Network. And this, we have a powerful interview tonight, right? We want to make sure you get the most out of this. So we're bringing people from all walks of life. We're bringing people that's doing every industry to tell their story so we can see why we are talking GSPartners, why we're saying that, right? So we have a sensational leader, sensational professional, former business owner, former insurance professional. He's going to tell his story on how he was in the industry, how he lost money in 2008, and how he is now a GSB Continental executive. And we're going to see, is this the best business he'd have been in? Is this the best industry he'd have been in? All right, so we're going to bring him on shortly. So thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Forward Money Network. Make sure you subscribe to our team channel, New Millennial Bankers, and follow us on all social media platforms, because on Facebook and IG, I am getting restricted from being able to do some things. Facebook or YouTube is taking down videos. They're taking down content. They are also flagging me pretty much for everything that we post. So stay connected on all social media platforms, because you never know when we will have to rebuild a whole nother channel, because this is the enemy platform, but we are utilizing it for righteous goods. But that's what we're going to do, and you'll never see us beg and complain about what they do with their platform, right? And so until we have our own, we're going to utilize it to our best ability. All right. So thank y'all for tuning in. So before we bring on our guests, let's go and take this to future money. So we got to take a look at the gold spot price. We got to look at what money is. See, we can't talk to you about the future money. We don't tell you what money is. We know you in love with that cash, but that cash ain't number paper. All right, that cash ain't number paper with a dead president on it, right? That's all it is. It ain't worth nothing. It ain't even worth the paper that it's printed on, but we use it as a medium of exchange. But real money has to be a store of value, and the dollar is not a store of value. Gold is the only ultimate store of value that we have ever seen in the last 5,000 to 6,000 years. However, so gold closed at $1,913.24. This is spot price. Really, to get gold at this price, you could not buy an ounce at this price. You would have to buy probably at least a kilo or more to actually get it at this spot price. And this is a manipulated price. This is a set-on price. All right. So they're constantly doing that because they don't want us to know. And if you know and do the history, you know that gold used to back up the dollar. That's why the dollar is the #1 reserve currency. They tricked all the other countries, but the countries are waking up and they're tired of playing that game. So we got to get prepared. But gold is insurance. Gold is wealth, right? Because it will sustain you for a long period of time. It'll sustain you in any type of crisis. But it's insurance. It's not designed to make you rich. All right. So I'm not telling you, if you only got $2,000 and you're looking for an investment, I wouldn't say go and get an ounce of gold. Why? Because that ounce of gold ain't going to give you no dividends. Right. We got something that'll give you some dividends. You put that $2,000 to work, make you a double that money, go and get you an ounce of gold and still have that $2,000 working. Well, we'll teach you that science right there now. We'll get Crunk and tell you the science on how it works, right? But so I just want to make that plain. If you're looking for an investment, don't say you want to go and get gold, because you're not going to get any dividend, but you need it. Just understand why you need it. All right? Why you need it. All right, so let's go to the cryptocurrency market. Now, we're going to go to the market that's going to make you rich. All right? The cryptocurrency market will make you rich, right? So just believe that, right? If you get an understanding and learn about what's going on and really learn about what we're doing and what we're offering you, then you understand that cryptocurrency is what will make you rich. And you can go and get all the gold and have all the security that you need on that, right? However, let's look at the market. The market and the cryptocurrency market don't never shut down. It's 24 hours, all right? 24/7. The global cryptocurrency market cap is $1.170 trillion. It is up over the last day, 0.09%. Bitcoin is the leader. It's the first cryptocurrency in the world, and it is still dominating the market. And this coin is trading for one coin, one unit, $29,436.37. Over the last 7 days, Bitcoin is up 1.41%. Ethereum, the second biggest cryptocurrency due to its market cap and the second most used cryptocurrency due to its blockchain, is trading at $1,850.35, and it is up 0.90% over the last 7 days. Then we have Binance BNB coming in fourth, but third as a utility coin. USD Tether is the #1 stable coin on the market with a big daily trading volume. Binance is trading at $240.28, and it's down 1.41% over the last 7 days. And then we have XPR coming in at the 5th spot, close fifth to Binance. It is trading for 62 pennies, and it is down 0.86% over the last 7 days. Now we offer you a coin called the G999 coin, and we done took a lot. We done went through a lot, right? And a lot of people have said a lot, right? But as I told my wife today, I told another member of my business partner and brother, David DJ Airman Jennings, I told him, I'm going to get me another million G999 coins before September the 1st. But we're not going to go over that tonight. But just know, so our coin is trading at 0.0041. We are down 0.4% over the last day. All right. But like I told my wife, I told DJ, I'm going to get me another million of these coins before September the 1st. That's all I can tell you. All right. Enough of that. Let's get to it because my guest is waiting in the shadows. All right. So, family, we have a special treat for you today. We talking about a man that was highly into the markets. We talking about a man that was in the real estate, had millions of dollars in the real estate. We talking about a man that's a professional network marketer, a serial business partner. He done traveled all around the world, and we got some questions that we're going to ask him. You don't know because I don't never prompt my guests because I don't prompt them, you know, to be honest with you, right? I don't have time to. But anyway, so he don't know. He don't got a clue what I'm asking. All right. But anyway, so let's bring on my business partner, my brother, who I've been knowing McKay now since 2018 or something like that, right? Going on 6 years, been knowing him, been connected with him, been in multiple countries and cities and all around the world with him as well. Just was in DC with him, gonna be in Atlanta with him. We was in Qatar, Doha, Qatar together. We was in Seychelles together, right? We'd have been in Atlanta a couple times. We been down in Tampa together. We was in LA together. So this is a business partner that me and my family are dearly in love with him and his family. So let's bring him to the stage. Mr. Gregory McKay. Yeah, he is. Oh man, he coming in. Okay, baby, get my shades out of there. Get my shades out of there, man. Trying to stunt on me.
Hey, you shine so bright, man. Had to come in so I can adjust my eyes, you know, then I can, do the thing. So I just want to, keep your light shining. It's very important that everything that you give and what you provide to the community and what you put out here, you're putting out fires. And so I said, I got to come in here because he's shining so bright. Let me get my shades off. But I'm gonna take those off.
Man, I like them shades, man. I'm digging the shirt too as well, man. I know you always stay jigging, man. To be old school, to be an unk, as we call them in DC, right?
Yeah.
You stay fly, right? Yes, sir, man. So we want to thank you, man, for coming to the platform, man, for answering the call and coming and grace us with your presence, with your time, because we know everybody's time is valuable. So we don't look to waste your time. So we thank you for tuning in. We thank you for coming on, man. And I just appreciate it and hope we have a powerful, packed day. I got some serious questions to ask you,
Okay, let's go.
All right, we want to make everybody know. We got to let the folks know who doing and who making the real cake right here, right? You feel it? So family, yeah. So man, just to get started, man. I don't know my knowledge. I have just went through your pictures or whatever like that. I know we never talked about it, but did you ever serve in the armed forces for the United States?
Yeah, actually, United States Marine Corps. So, served in there. Actually, I was getting kicked out of college, and actually, to get straight and get it back together, I said I got to go get some discipline. So I actually left college and went to the Marine Corps. Could have picked something else, but I'm like, I got to go. I got to go to the top. And so spent some time in the Marine Corps, and then actually came back out and came back to college to finish and graduate.
Awesome. Okay, I thought so. I seen it. I was telling my wife, I said, I think it was Marine, because I got some little cousins. They was in the Marines and they got those same uniforms. I'm like, that's the Marines. I know those uniforms, right?
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
blues, dress blues, boy. But it's all good.
Did you ever fight in the war? Did you ever fight in any real combat?
No. I was in there during peacetime, but we was ready to go fight. When you're in the Marine Corps, you train to kill and survive. Mm-hmm. So, you are ready to go to war once you come out of there. But it was during Reagan's term, and it was peacetime, so it worked out. So we were doing a bunch of drills, but you are ready to go and prepared to go.
Yes, I know you went on there like remember the old movie with the Wayne brothers. I'm gonna get you sucker, right? You wouldn't like that, right? I've been trained to come. I thought you've been trained. I said I was trained. I ain't never been in it.
No. You ready for the warfare? I mean, and so I call that fortunate to not have to go to war, because that plays havoc on you. And you think about the men and women that have gone and served, and it's like they come back, they're different people. You out there trying to survive because it's you or them. This ain't no if or. You gotta be prepared, and to be in that situation in real life, that's serious business.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand. My father was in the Army. He was supposed to go and serve in Vietnam, but they didn't call him. He said he couldn't eat for 3 weeks waiting on that call. Right?
Yeah,
because he actually was he was going to be in the station in the base. Because he was the one that break down and clean up the guns. He did all of that. He know how to break down the M16 and all of that. So he know how to do all of that. So he was going to be at the spot that they was going to be trying to hit first, right?
Yep.
But he didn't go. So he didn't go.
Those are usually what they call combat engineers. They're the ones in the front line, the front line.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. So I know when I was getting this together, I know I asked you. I know you had been big in real estate, but I knew you was in something else. I thought you told me you was an insurance professional. So what is the difference? Let me and let the family know what's the difference between an insurance professional and an insurance broker, if it is a difference.
Yeah. Well, the brokers, those are the salespeople. They're selling insurance policies in all different kinds. It could be life, it could be home, it could be vehicles, and all those different things. So it's a lot of different variations. The insurance I was in, I handled several states, and our company did insurance inspections on personal homes. So if you were to get an insurance policy, my company would go out and inspect your home, and typically from the outside, taking all exterior pictures, unless the service required us to go on the inside, and then provide a report to the insurance company to determine whether they're going to write an insurance policy on your house, whether you were a good risk or not. Mm-hmm. So we provide the risk assessment form, and then they make the decision on whether they're going to give an insurance policy. So anybody who has a insurance policy on your home, somebody looked at your home before you got your policy. And so so I did that in Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan. Those were the 3 states that I handled, and I handled all top tier insurance companies. So the companies I served were all large insurance companies.
Yes. How long did you actually do that?
I did that for when I came out of corporate America, per se, because before I got into insurance, I was into telecom and also real estate. And after all of that changed, that's how I got into insurance later on. And I was not trying to go back into that space. But my wife was working for a company, and the CEO wanted to meet and talk about an opportunity. So, I'm always going to listen. And so it was actually that bridge that provided me that I call it that jumps to be able to move towards getting free, getting towards retirement. So it just prepped me right on time. So I think I did it for, what was that? Maybe 5 years. Yep, 5 years.
Was you on commission pay, salary pay? How did it work?
Yep, commission and salary. So I would have, accounts that were assigned to me, and you selling, so I was in the top sales folks in that company. So you have a base there, but you can also earn. So when I'm really serving a client, I'm looking for what their needs are, what types of customers they're looking for, what areas they're looking for, and all of that stuff, so that I can provide them, the products and services that they need. So I would recommend to them the different products we had when they're assessing a home, because they want to know what's the best way to assess it. So our products, along with what their guidelines, where we put those together to come up with a solution for them. And so if I can sell 100,000 inspections, to a company, then I would earn income off of that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know you reside in Lansing, Michigan, right there. Is that your hometown?
Correct. Yeah, not born and raised, but just where we came. Renee and I, after college, we came here to Lansing because it was between where we graduated from and where we were born, which was we're both from Flint. Went to school and graduated at Western Michigan University, and Lansing is right in the middle. So that's how we ended up here.
Yeah, that was a rap group, man. I remember back in the early 90s came out of Flint. Top Authority, Dating Family. Yeah, man, we grew up on listening to that, man. That's how I know about Flint.
Oh, we got a little flavor in Flint. You know, before they took GM out, that was a rocking town, man. When they took GM out, man, it turned into, woo! They're still trying to recover today. It was a nice town.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, before I know you're a savvy business owner, you're a savvy investor. How many businesses have you owned or ran in the past?
My focus, I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad back in 1999, and that thing just blew my mind. I always wanted to be able to provide something for my family when I was not here. So I needed to have assets and recognize I didn't have assets. You can have money, but you need to have assets, something that produces money. And I didn't have that in my family. So I read that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and that thing said, you must have assets. And, you think in your own home is an asset, and kind of, sort of, maybe, but not really. The wealthy don't call your own private home an asset unless it produces income. And most homes that you live in don't produce income. You pay on it, you pay in utilities, maintenance, or something. But if you're paying out, then it's not producing income. So when I read that book, man, I actually, and I wouldn't recommend it but I took my 401k out. I took all my money out. I didn't even leave anything. I don't recommend that. Don't do that. I took it all out because I was betting on me. I said, man, I'm about to take this money here. I'm about to go rock this thing. And I was rocking for a while. So actually up until 2008 when, and I was actually going to leave corporate America and then just do real estate because I had enough properties, enough income, man. But when that 2008 thing came, I couldn't have read a book. I couldn't have went to a seminar. I couldn't have had a mentor because it was the first time it had ever happened. And when that tsunami came through, I think it was about $4 or $5 trillion was I call it lost, but it was transferred back then away from everybody. And today it's still people trying to recover from that. They're still not recovered.
And people ain't even talking about it like that. But we're gonna get to that. You kind of jumped the gun. I don't know if you got psychic power or something. You just jumped like over two of my questions, right? But we're gonna get to that crash, right? So how many rental properties have you owned at one time? How many?
The most we had was 35.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah. That's a lot of carpet. There's a lot of water heaters. There's a lot of court cases. I mean, it's the breadth of real estate. I got into it because I also wanted to help people own homes because the redlining, all the different dynamics that work against us. I was trying to provide a solution to get folks get into housing. Understanding their credit, understanding how to take care of their homes, understanding the tax benefits and all of that kind of stuff. And so if we could circumvent the stuff that was against them, then we could do that. But when you're doing that, and your vision is bigger than that, it's like, man, I can only serve 35 people. And so God works some things out. And if sometimes you think it's in, against you, but really it's in your favor.
Did you own all of that in the Michigan area?
Yeah, Michigan. So Detroit, Lansing, and Flint.
So you own like a couple, like 2 blocks or something, right? Like just a house. All this is McKay, Gregory McKay, just come down the street.
Yeah. And single family.
Time consuming to manage all of that.
Yeah, because I was working. I was working too.
You still were working a job and had 35 properties?
Yep.
Wow.
When you can get some good tenants, it can be pretty nice. But when you don't have good tenants, then it gets to be, some long days and nights. But when you're doing something like that, you already know you in for what the whole range of stuff that can happen. So it was okay for me. I love being able to take a home and transform it and make it something beautiful after it's something that was, Renee didn't like to go in the houses, some of the foreclosed houses you buy, they all messed up and but I could see what it was going to look like when we finish with it,
So did you also, you actually had the deeds to all of those properties?
Yeah.
You own them outright?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had mortgages on them, but I had the deeds.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah. And that's another thing when people, they got their home, you got a deed, but you still got some debt, and I was actually looking at refinancing half of them to pay off the other half, so I would have 15 free and clear.
Mm-hmm.
But all the financing stuff, and you've heard Mr. Delco talk about it, you've heard Nitsa Nakos talk about it. The banks, when they shut things down, they shut it all down. And so some of the lending practices they were doing weren't the best, and would put people in harm's way, but they were trying to move money.
Yeah, they got away with billions of dollars. But that will lead to our next question. So how, because sometimes I wrestle with this, I kind of understand it a little bit. 2008, I was on my way to the federal system at that time. Right? So I remember seeing it on the news, but they didn't really talk about it like that, right?
Right.
Now, what was the how did you actually lose? So you lost all of those homes in the 2008 crisis. How?
Yeah, for a few years. So I was when you haven't had the culture of building business, you don't understand the dynamics of it, and you don't understand when to quit and when to fold. I was trying to hold on. Like in this market here, they have what they call holding costs, and so you would hold 3 months of reserves for every property, so that in case you had to move somebody out, you'd have time to buffer, so you wouldn't have to, you'd have money to pay for the mortgage while you were getting the next tenant. Mm-hmm. Now, what happened in 2008, 7, 8, and 9 when they stopped doing the financing? There were a massive layoffs of people, so people were losing their jobs. I think it was like 800,000 jobs a day or something. It was some ridiculous amount.
Wow!
And so all of this dynamics was happening at the same time, and so you got people not paying rent because when you about to get fired, you're gonna hold your money. Mm-hmm. Well, when you're the landlord, they're not gonna pay you no money because the process here in Michigan is very, very long to try to remove somebody from the property. So they can hold out, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it got to the point where you'd be like trying to recycle people getting kicked out of this house, trying to come to your house, and they would have their down payment money because they didn't pay the last person. Mm. I mean, it was just a big circle of just a big hot mess, and it's to this day, there were some people who made it through it. I was not prepared for it.
So you couldn't keep up on the mortgages, paying off the mortgage and all of that.
Right. After 3 months, no, because after that, you digging in your own. And I ran up credit card debt. I did everything. I ended up going to the point where I had to file bankruptcy and all that kind of stuff, trying to hold on to it. And it's one of those things, if you said hindsight, if you could do it all over again, so you got to cut your losses, give the house back, do all that kind of stuff. I was trying to hold on, man. Mm-hmm. Ended up doing and had to start all over. Had a foreclosure sticker on my own door on the house I built, man. One of the first people in the family that built a house from the ground. When you go like, Coach Thompson talks about the lot with the red flag on it. Man, give me that one right there. Mm-hmm. Pick the lot and all that kind of stuff. Watch them when they dig the thing and pick the paint colors, the knobs and the trim. I mean, just everything, but had a foreclosure sticker on the door, bro. And that at that point, it was like, I didn't, and I took it off the wall, off the door, so Renee wouldn't see it because we had been through so much, and I tried to shield it as much as I can. I was like, I got to take that down, and so ended up having to file bankruptcy and having to really have to start all over again, And when you starting all over again from scratch and later in life, and you don't know, you can't make up that time in a traditional sense, like working a job and doing some regular stuff. Woo, man! I laid in my 3-season room, brother. I'm like,
so roughly, what do you estimate that you would say you lost in total in that time period, in that crash? Like, because this is significant, family. Because on this show and on For Our Money, we talk about these crashes. We in the midst of a crash right now, and they predicting this one to make 2008 look like child's play, right? So they even talking about making the Great Depression look like child's play, what happened in 1929. All right. But what, like, just give us an estimated rough number on what you just saying you lost. I know I heard you say before you lost millions.
Yeah. It's like close to 4 when you look at all the value, the equity, because I didn't operate in slum properties or I don't know what you call them. Mines were middle to high class, because I wanted to work with professionals, because I would have less of a headache. So, let's say blue collar, white collar folks, and all of them were losing their jobs. All of them. I mean, things that you would think were protected, they were not protected. And that's kind of like what's going to be happening now. And like you kind of alluded to, there's some stuff going on, with Yellow. They go out of business after 100 years and folks losing their pensions. What you going to do? So we're in this era, man, where it's very volatile, and the things that occur afterwards are not the same today. And everybody's not being prepared for it. And that's why, kind of like why we exist and the wonderful work you're doing here, man, because we sound the alarm. It's like if I don't know, I got my little cowbell. We sounding the bells and the alarms, and folks are like, dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee, I'm good. And so, okay.
Yeah, they got a saying that says it's like the pig. The pig don't see the rain clouds. He too busy eating. He never look up and see the rain clouds hovering above. So when the storm hit, he drowns in the storm. But listen, so we're gonna transition a little bit. What year did you first get started in network marketing?
2015, when I found Wealth Builders. See, my journey is you gotta love the Bible. We ain't talking about church, but it's like, from 2008 to 2015, I call it the wilderness experience, because it was I'd never gotten to. I was a high 6-figure brother when I was working in because I was in telecom, working with AT&T, Lucent, Avaya. Those are the largest telecom companies in the world, and I was in the top 2% of sales folks for them. So whenever there were trips, I traveled all over with that. Took Renee all over. We was doing all that kind of stuff in our early 30s, and so when you go through all of those kinds of experiences, man, it's incredible. And so right now, I'm just seeing that 2008 to 2015, trying to figure out how do you get a footing and how do you get that back to that position. And I could already feel that I wasn't all in wherever I was going to work. I'm in there because I produce, but I ain't all the way in there. So I don't know what that was all about, but it was something that was preparing something for later. You don't know that, but that's what was happening. And so I found Wealth Builders in 2015. I think it was some late night presentations with Mr. Best. I didn't know who he was at the time, but they saying the same old stuff every day. I think I looked at him for 6 months. I'm like, I don't know why I'm looking at it for 6 months. I ain't got nothing going on. So, so I finally jumped in and got with Wealth Builders Worldwide in 2015, man. And that's and
the rest is
had a good experience with what we had, because I think that's when we met through that, throughout our previous company, which you would think was like the perfect company, but things change and you just got to ebb and flow with it. So, but when you're around good-hearted people that are for people, not trying to take advantage of people, but it was a different journey, man. Because I coming from corporate to network marketing, it ain't the same. It ain't your skill set somewhat may work, but it's a whole different animal. And I wasn't used to that. It took me a while to adjust. I'm still adjusting. Actually,
you excel pretty fast though.
Yeah, I mean, I can learn. I can listen. It took me a long time to shut up and just do what they say. Because what about this and what about that? Just like, let me just be quiet. Because, hey, you know, we talked about Mr. Delgo getting free in 103 days. It took me like 1,700, about almost 1,800 days, because I just couldn't, you know. But hey, it don't matter how. Just run your race. Everybody just run your race, and you're gonna get, you know. And
well, we can't really tell that now. You look like you've been in networking all your damn life. I didn't expect you to say Wealth Builders was your entry.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I wish, man, because you know, listen, I was making a whole bunch of money, and I didn't have no, you know.
Did anybody ever come to you about other network marketing deals?
Oh yeah. I'm in Michigan, man. I'm like up the street from Amway.
Oh.
You know, and so I had gone to some of those, you know, because the way they covertly invite you to stuff, it's like, oh, man, come on, I ain't got time for this. And so I didn't ever get involved with it. So, you know, and so I never had no reason to until later on. It's like, okay, let me see here. How can I accelerate what I'm doing? How can I leverage my skill set to learn some new skills? Because you got to learn some new skills all the time. And when I got connected with Wealth Builders, man, that was like a breath of fresh air, because you know how you're destined to do something that's going to impact people's lives, but you don't know what that's going to look like. And to get with them and to see what they do and what they were doing for people and the example they were setting and all that kind of stuff, man, it was just, I'm like, I'm home. I'm like, I'm here. I just got to just be quiet and and do what they say, you know. And you got to eat some crow and whatever else you got to eat to get to that space, you know. So and so I'm getting there. We all getting there. And so I love that we get a chance to grow together, you know, through all the tools that we have that I haven't seen anywhere, where everybody's helping everybody. You know, you help me and I'm helping you. We leverage one another. We don't care who gets the credit. We just want to get across what we're trying to get across, so people understand that we're here to make a difference in their lives.
You are one of the most consistent brothers in Wealth Builders now, on Team Freedom as well. You are one of the most consistent ones. Like, you blast it every day, live every day. You know what I'm saying? You got your broadcast. You're doing live events. You know, you just had a 3-city event just the last weekend or so like that.
Yep.
You're back on the road again. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely understand that the person in front of the room make the money. You definitely understand.
I'm in it to win it, man. And it's like to have what we have, man. Everybody should be running to the front of the room, because it's like everybody needs what we have. That's the trip. That's the trip. Everybody needs what we have, and man, if they could quit looking, what happens? They're looking at the messenger and not listening to the message. And the message we have is freedom. And when we say freedom, that means you get to replace your full-time income and get free. And many people will never know that. And it's like, man, see, I'm a baby boomer, man, and I'm over 60. People don't think that, but I'm over 60, and I never thought about that. Working, you're gonna work until you die, and until you figure out a way to make money while you sleep, you're gonna work until you die. That didn't resonate. That's just some words on a paper. But man, when you're a baby boomer and you seeing people working and you seeing people dying, working until they die to never know freedom, man, so. Man, this is ministry for me. We're gonna keep screaming from the mountaintop, because the people are destroyed because they don't know what is going on.
But we see, though, it's a mental thing. It's a mentality thing, because I have talked to several people and I have asked them, if you could make from home or your phone enough income to take care of your expenses, would you quit your job? And I have had multiple people tell me, no, I wouldn't. I like my job. I love my job. I wouldn't. It's like, but there's no freedom there. You might do, but there's no freedom. So it can't be what you want to do, because the average college graduate is doing something outside of his degree. So it ain't something that you inspired to do. You know what I'm saying? You the manager of Walmart, but you got a BSA, you got a PhD, but you the manager of Walmart, and you telling me you love this, but you went to school to get a PhD. and you're not even utilizing it. But that's the whole mindset. Because I think, though, Mr. McKay, that a lot of people can't wrap around the concept of being able, because they have us in that structured box all the way from preschool all the way up with somebody telling us what to wear, what to do, what time to come in, what time to do this, what time to do that. When you free, it's like, what would I do? Whatever the hell you want to do. Wake up and say, hey, I'm doing this. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go here. Hey, what time you going to sleep? When I just fall out. What time you waking up? When I'm just tired. Like literally, like folks, they can't wrap their mind around that, because from preschool, from 4 or 5 years old, we've been conditioned to be in a structured type of living.
That is it was something that came on me today, and it's because I remember a gentleman saying that we're conditioned 40,000 hours, but then we come along with a 10-minute presentation talking about freedom. So we got 40,000 hours against 10 minutes.
Against 10 minutes.
And so, and in this 10 minutes, we condense the time of this 40,000 hours that the people can't, so it's a hard jump. It's a hard transition. That's why it's so important what we do, because it's a hard thing to grasp, that you can get free and you can compress time and get your time back. And because that's not been taught, it's not taught in the churches, it's not taught in homes, it's not taught in school, it's not taught in any type of organization or specialty organizations. I don't even care if it's a finance organization. It's not taught in any other professional industry. So our economy is built for workers. It needs workers. But soon, and you talk about it all the time too, this technology stuff is going to be putting people out of jobs. So people now going to college, and Matthew Taylor talks about it all the time, going to come out to a world that no longer exists. And what we do, it keeps us above all of that. It's sort of like being at 30,000 feet and looking at all the stuff that's going on in the carnage, because we don't really care who the president is and what's going on, around the country and all that kind of stuff, because the solution that we have, it transcends all of that.
It does.
And until they start hurting some kind of way, because it's going to have to be some kind of pain, because this, like Dr. Best would always say, this is the most rational, realistic, straightforward, common sense thing to do. Save your money and get paid.
Get paid.
I mean,
what's so complicated about that? Yes, sir. So listen, moving on. What year did you get it started in cryptocurrency?
Oh, with our previous company. So
wow.
Look at 2017 or 18 or something like that.
18.
Yeah. First time, and we was learning all the Ethereum and all the different stuff, the MetaMask and all that. I mean, we were doing it's like almost like since I'm a little more
savvy now. We're a little more
different now in age, but we used to have little teletype machines back in the day. And when I was in college, they didn't have computers, and so now it's like, man, all the stuff we were learning prepared us for what's going on right now. And it's like you wouldn't even, I mean, you don't recognize that, but it's like all this stuff now we do this stuff and we don't even think, it's just instinct. We can just move stuff. And I mean, it's a beautiful thing that, see, time gonna pass no matter what. We ask people, listen, 5 years ago, folks had a chance to make some decisions about whatever they was doing, and they made decisions, and where they are today, 5 years later, they're still there. We, in that 5-year window, are getting people free. So they're letting these windows go by that give them the opportunity, but because, our society is really 95% are just employee minded, not building anything. And you and I want to build something, man. We want to build something, and impact people's lives in the process. Because the thing about it is, we have a 100% success rate here. Our product gives people a 100% success rate. You can't go no place and get 100%. You might get 50, you might get 30, you might get 40, but you get 100%. And people are like, So I just say, Lord, help a brother out, because you got to help me. I know you get the same thing. You got to help me, because I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, you got to understand what you're saying no to and what you're saying yes to. And I said, you have your money in the bank and it's 0.01. You don't even have to tell me. And most people don't even check their accounts. They don't even know, even though it's on 0.01 or 0.02.
Because it's so small, when they give it to them, you don't even notice it.
They don't even pay. They just look. It's my holding place. I just hold my money here. And we say, well, why don't you hold your money over here? Because that same money can be put over here and you can earn 5% per week on that money. And even though we show them the numbers and show them what, because they know what they're getting, I said, you're saying no to 260% per year, and you're saying yes to 0.01% per year. Don't you understand why it's the wealth gap? Do you know that's why it's the income gap? Do you know that's why it's the financial inequity gap? We sitting there trying to bring all that to the table here, and they're looking at us like, you said, I'm good. I like working my whatever that is, and we're saying, and we can't say you lying, you ain't telling the truth, because we like to. But I said, I'm actually asking people. I said, give us an opportunity to do and you get a chance to do this. You keep some money in the way you're doing it now, and I want you to put some money over here, and just do a couple $100 just so you can see what you're comparing to, and so that they can see their money growing in 7 days. And that money that grows in 7 days is more than it would take them 20 years to get what this does in 7 days.
It'd take 40 years. If I add that up, it'd take 40 days. But they get it in a year, it would be like they wouldn't even make it. It wouldn't even never happen. They wouldn't be able to see that. At no 0.1. That ain't even a math number. That's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction.
Yeah.
Right? That's a fraction broke down a couple of times, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about whole numbers.
I think Mike Johnson says it's like taking a penny and slicing it, 10 little slivers, if you will, to do that. But that lets you know our community is not math. Math and money is not a part of the equation. Mm-hmm. So while we could be intellectually smart about something, we competently ignorant about something else, but nobody wants to confess. I'm like, I'll raise both my hands, because if I have, when Dr. Best told me about being broke, and I didn't know I was broke, I was like, I'm like, bro, you talking to me? He said, you broke, right? I was like, huh? You broke, right? What? No, because he said, how much money you make? I said, I told him, I said, no, seriously, how much money you make? Then he said, no, seriously, tell me how much money you make. And so he said, no, you don't. You haven't even counted the cost. It costs you to go to work. You have to get your car. You got to get insurance. You got to put your cars in take maintenance and all that kind of stuff. You got to put your clothes in the cleaners. You got to go to lunch. You got to drive to lunch. You got to go get your groceries. You got to go get dinner. You got to get. He said, man, you working for peanuts, because we never counted the cost of what it is to have a job. And when you peel back and look at all that stuff, a lot of folks ain't making no money. And so you come over here, and those things that used to be cost are now benefits.
Are not benefits and paying you back. And I kind of understood that. It's easy for me to grab that, because the only jobs I really had was construction. And they make you go and get some steel toe boots. They make you go and get a hard hat. They make you go and get all of that stuff there. Where before I get to the job, I done already spent $300-400. I ain't even got to the job yet.
Ain't got to check it or nothing.
I ain't got to check nothing. I ain't even worked 1 hour. I just been through the interview process, the orientation process. Because when you go in construction, you got to go through the orientation, the training. You got to know the do's and the don'ts. You got to be OSHA clear. And some of these jobs I had construction, I had to go and put hours in to get the OSHA certificate just to be able to work here. So I had to spend money to do that. Took months to get that certificate. And then when I get to the job, they say, okay, well, we're going to give you a hard hat, but you got to get this, that, and the third. You need a harness. We're going to give you a harness. We're going to give you that. Because I done worked on the unions. You know what I'm saying? When we was in the power plants and all of that. right? When you got to have a harness and all that. Then I used to be there, and I'd be down there. I see brothers get up there, they all in the pipes up here. I'm like, woo. Well, if you slip and do anything wrong, and that because the way you get up there, you got to connect as you going up. So any slip, anything wrong, you're out of there, buddy. Out of there. Like I was like, wow. I was like, hey, yeah, $17, and I was getting $17.65. Yeah, but don't ever ask me to go up there because that's the day that I'm fired. Y'all gonna fire me because I ain't going. I don't care. I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? I was on the team where we built the scalpels that go up the buildings. Oh yeah. Man. No, build the scalpel first and then I'll climb up it, maybe. Right. About 10 to 15 feet. I ain't gonna go no higher than that, right? You feel me? That stuff too risky, man. Just for a buck, man. And then the union, they taxing you. You get the tax from Uncle Sam. You get union dues. You get the plant dues. You get taxed like 3 times. So yeah, they pay good money, but they tax a lot of it though.
That's the little slippery catch. You know, you work and get taxed. You go buy goods and get taxed. Everything you do gets taxed. So you didn't tax your money 5 or 6 times. You know, and that's we're talking about counting the cost, man. It's but you don't learn all that. You don't, and you got to get around some people. You got to get around some people to understand the game. And if you don't, then when someone's trying to put you up on what's happening against you, then they think you're trying to game them. It's like, oh my goodness gracious. But you know, that's why we do what we do.
We over here living the best life, whatever the hell that means. That's what we living, right? Whatever you think the best, living the best life means, we living in it. You think we trying to beat you out a couple $100. All right, let's move along. Let's move on. All right. So what did you think about cryptocurrency when you first heard about it? Do you remember when you first heard about it, first really looked at it? What was your thought process?
I didn't trust it because it's you know, I'm old school, so I got to touch and feel. So because it was nothing like that, nothing. It's like, man, you can't make sense of it. And when you're trying to use reasoning and logic on something, you're gonna lose that. You're gonna lose that one. You know, somebody say, why don't you, you know, put a couple $100 in this thing called Bitcoin, and you know, but I really don't know how it works. I don't know where, you know, but it's, you know, it's a couple of 0.00 something, and you know, but you got to put it over here, but you can't touch it. You can't, you know. So until I had to be around some other folks that understood it, so I could learn that, you know, and use one of them because you were already starting that, and a lot of us were just being introduced to it. So I appreciate the former company because that's how we got introduced. Otherwise, we'd have been late to the game. So now when we came into it, man, we were like already, you know, we already had our wings, man. We could fly, bro. We didn't have to start over. We could understand the difference between these coins out here, where a lot of people are just buying them and hold them and hoping they go up. And it's like, no, that's a whole lot of strategies behind it.
Ain't got no whole utility behind it. No, you just think
just go get it and hope it, you know. And you know, it's a bunch of coins out there that. And so now today, when we're talking about cryptocurrency, and I don't like to use that word because 95% don't know what that means. They think it's Bitcoin and that's the whole thing. There's nothing else has to do with it. Just saying how you want to grow your money, because if you say crypto, they're going to go nuts because all they think about is losing. And see, we don't lose here. We have 100% winning here. And that's a hard thing to grab when you're watching your friends losing, and you're watching stuff on TV losing, and you're watching stuff, you know, and then stuff crashing and folks going to jail and all that kind of stuff. It puts a lot of fear, you know, in a lot of people, man. But that's where the folks get wealthy when 95% of the market is scared. You can imagine crypto. When I looked, you know, learned how to look at coin market cap, and it was showing its valuation of the cryptos that were out there and how it came to $1 trillion in a short amount of time when it took companies 100 years. And so for me, that's like, that's a time redemption right there to get to $1 trillion in a short amount of time when it's taken, and some companies don't reach $1 trillion. Some industries don't even reach $1 trillion, but this, I'm like, I just got to figure that thing out, man. So that's why getting around in a community, we got such dynamic and smart people and that stuff. I ain't trying to be the smartest in the room. Oh, heck to the no. I'm like, let me see. All right, Far. So what's up, man? What we gonna do? What we about to do? What's the move? What's the move? So because we're learning a lot of stuff, and it's so dynamic, man. And we've been on this journey, and seeing. And Dr. Best will always say, you're gonna get to the point where you're gonna be making so much money from so many different places, you're not gonna be able to keep up with it. Now, how you gonna wrap your head around that?
We got money in the metaverse, DeFi, real estate,
staking, nodes, exclusive node.
I mean, we just got money that really I be saying the number what we getting passive, but I really don't know. To be honest, y'all think we say that just be talking. It's real. I really don't know how much passive income I get a month. I really don't know. No. I can give a rough number, so you might hear me say I'm at the 13, 14,000. I could literally be at already 17, 18,000, close to 20. I don't really know. I just can give a rough estimate because we got a whole lot of moving things.
And so trying to help somebody see that vision, and we try to keep it in a focused scope. So let's just stay right here. Don't worry about all this over here and over here. Just let's stay right here. Let's get your money working first, and then we'll get into all that other stuff. We just brought on a new partner yesterday from DC. So man, I wish I'd have met you before. Could have came out to our event. But he saw this thing, and he was his mind was blown on it, and he had a crypto background, so it helped. That he could see everything. So he moved his crypto right away, got his certificates and stuff right away, and just jumped right in. And when you can run into that, that's real beautiful. But for those who are saying, man, I don't know, or I Google something, Dr. Best, he would always say, the people that you're talking to are really unqualified to make a decision. And that's talks about being prepared to recognize opportunity. We are when what we're doing and people don't see it, it just means they aren't prepared to see the opportunity. And that didn't resonate with me until I'm like, oh, it makes so much sense now. It's sort of like when a presentation or like going to church. I like church as a good example because you can go to church, they talk about faith, and you can like, yeah, faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Wait, if I can't see it, how am I going
to get it? That's the part of
Yeah. So you got to believe it, and you got to come out and keep doing that thing so you can get that thing. And so when we're doing the presentation and somebody come by and they don't hear it, but the next time they hear it, it's like, oh man, that makes so much sense. And we've been saying the same thing every day. So my prayer is just that people come to that understanding, and Pastor Pamela talks about that they have eyes to hear, eyes to see and ears to hear, that then they come to some understanding of what's going on here. Because when we're earning 22% per week on our money to save it, that produces money to do the things that we want to do, and we still have our money, and a person says they don't want that, they don't know what they're saying. That means they aren't qualified to make that decision. And that's why the education stuff that we do every day to get this out here can help people see that we're trying to get something to them and not get something from them. Like we can say we good, and that really means something. We good. We make money 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We don't have to work. We have no place to be. We ain't got nothing to do. So we're in a different animal, and they can't compare their past to this future now because they can't compare what we're doing because it's never been done.
Never been done. That's what I try to tell folks all the time.
Yeah, never been done.
If you try to compare this to something you done, whether it's network marketing, because I have people say, yeah, I did Mary Kay. That's kind of something. Don't you ever in your life mention Mary Kay, Neutral Burst, My Econ, IBM, Amway. Don't mention that when we talk about GSPartners, but we're going to get into that too, though. Don't mention that when you talk about blockchain banking because there ain't never been this. Don't mention XPR. Don't mention Doge. Don't mention Ethereum. Don't mention Binance. Don't mention none of that. Don't mention Steve. Don't mention none of that when we bring you the G999. What we're doing has never been done. Where you looking at the price? We got a whole system.
Yep.
And we got a whole system. We don't even, man, listen, y'all know the G999 gonna do for us when it go up? They're just gonna make us richer. We ain't gonna liquidate none of it. We ain't gonna sell none of it or nothing. Why? Because we already got supreme cash flow, crypto flow rather, coming in every day, all type of different ways. So when the G999 go, we ain't gonna sell nothing. We ain't got to.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part, and you know, and we're gonna keep saying it every kind of way that we can to get to, so they can really grasp what we're saying. You know, we say we don't because we don't invest in crypto, and that throws people off. We're just using it as a medium of exchange, and they still don't even get that, even though we're saying we just use it as a gateway to get in to get the assets. You don't want to really get in a position where you got to hold the crypto and hope it go up. How about using that money but leverage it to put into a product or an asset that's going to pay you every 7 days? You know, why would you want to hold on to something that's not doing anything? And gold is a good example. It's like, I like gold. We got gold. So, we got gold.
I say when I open this up, I always
exactly. I mean, we got gold.
You need it, but you don't need it if you don't got any dividends coming, any assets paying dividend. Then you don't need gold. You need to get that together first.
Yes.
Some passive residual. Then go get you some gold. Take some out of that every month, stack you some gold, because that's what it's for.
Yes. Yes.
And when they can get that, put to the side.
Absolutely. And so, you know, we can help get them in that vein of taking the steps. Right now, we want to help people their money make money, because if right now they know their money is not making any money. We can help them in that occur in 7 days. So that's a turnaround. That's even radical, you know, and what this can do, and then all other stuff that goes with it, you know. So it's very, very radical. And you know, when people say, when they can't find something, they're gonna try to find something wrong, find some way not to do something for themselves. That's the real part there. When you can talk yourself out of freedom, because they've watched you and I travel. You mentioned all the places we've been all over the world together, all the different places, you know, and so that ain't free. So
I mean, it is with GSPartners, because
I mean, it is, but they know, we didn't, you know. So yeah.
We was in Seychelles on their dime, right? Y'all was in Dubai on their dime, right?
Exactly.
What they gave you for Dubai? $5,000-$6,000 for you?
Yep, almost $6,000.
God damn, they paid for the whole trip. Like, man, this is man. Yeah. So we coming down the home stretch, man. This has been great. So we back to that traveling around the world, right? I know you've been in a lot of places. You left Dubai in May. You was in LA with us in April. You were just in DC with us last month. You were just in Chicago. You travel a lot. You was in Chicago with us in February.
Exactly.
Man, so you travel a lot, man. So you've been to Dubai. You finna go to Cape Town. You know what I'm saying? And so forth and so forth. Like, this is you're gonna be out the country. It's gonna be your third time leaving the country this year.
Mm-hmm.
This year.
Well, actually going to Italy in next month. So because my daughter models, and so we're going to Milan Fashion Week. So
my goodness. So when you go to Cape Town in November, you're gonna be left the country 4 times. This man is a world traveler, family. This is what we're trying to tell y'all. But all right, so I want to ask them this question. All the countries you've been to, all the countries outside the United States, everything, the cities, what's the best city, country that you have seen that you would say, I could stay here, I could leave America, get the hell on, never come back, and I can live in this place?
I mean, I still got a whole bunch of places to go, but for the places that I have been, I would say St. Thomas, man. I love St. Thomas and St. Croix. That place over there was,
where's that located? Where is that?
It's out there in the Caribbean stuff, all the little islands that here in Cuba.
About St. Kitts and all that.
Yeah. That was the most beautiful place that I've been. That weather's perfect and all that kind of stuff, just beautiful. But it's so much out there, man. I still want to get to Greece and some other stuff. Croatia is beautiful, man. When I was watching something, and it's like an old historic town, kind of, because all that European brick and all that stuff is just beautiful, man. We're in Madrid, Spain, was beautiful. I mean, but I want to be on that beach somewhere where that's not too far away. Listen, I'm like scoping it out because I'm like, let's get out of the U.S. I'm trying to have to.
So what was your thoughts on Dubai? I know you've been there a couple
I
times.
like Dubai, but man, you out in the desert, bro. I mean, I like to go back there, go swing on by there. Let's go pop into Dubai, and meet for dinner or something like that. But as far as a place, and Dubai is a trip all by itself, and it's just growing and so much stuff coming there, and man, that a city inside a bubble or something like that. I mean, it's the technology and the future that it represents right now is
none.
I mean, it's so yes, I would say that, and but we got listen, we got Cape Town in November, but in February, March, I think it's going to be Bora Bora.
Man,
so we tell people, if you're gonna roll with us in GSPartners, you need a passport. You need a passport. Get it right now, and don't look at your current circumstance situation. When you get to the point where you can believe something, you're gonna be okay. Because me and you, we on this journey. We didn't know nothing. We didn't have nothing. We had faith and risk. Something came to me. I said, faith is to risk as fear is to safety.
Wow.
Faith is, you gotta go do something. I'm sorry.
That's a post. Faith is the risk as fear is the safety. Golly.
Man, that dropped on me. I was like,
that's
because that's what's up right now. We out here on faith, bro. We don't have any. We got a kind of an understanding, but man, every time we think we got it, they blow our mind. I mean, we can fall out the chair every time we go to Dubai, because it's something. Oh man, how do they think of that? Because we think we got it all. We think we know it all. We got no, man. This thing.
Don't be surprised by the new updates gonna come out in Cape Town, because we already know. The blockchain update comes out next month on September 1st. That's when everything's supposed to consolidate and all that there. That's why I'm going to get that another million coin, family.
Yeah,
see that? I don't have this chance to get it at that price ever again.
Yeah, and so you see the interesting time, because that's September and then the event's in November. So that's giving some time for all that stuff to bake in and all that kind of stuff. And heck, and we ain't even talked about the metaverse stuff that we got going on here. That's behind the scenes. That's a whole nother lifetime income and all that stuff. So it's man, it's like we can't tell enough people fast enough.
We can't. But that brings us to our last question, man. It's been great, man. I thank you for coming, man. I definitely enjoyed this. You kind of been answered, but through the way. But why? This is what this stream is called. This is what this series of streams are called. Why Gold Standard Bank? Why GSPartners?
In your lifetime, I don't know if you ever thought you could be first in something, that you could be a pioneer in something, be a trailblazer and actually blaze the trail for something that was going to affect humanity. In your lifetime, you could never really have that happen. And that's happening for you and I right now as we speak. Having to be with some people who are, it ain't about the money, because that ain't even, it's about how many lives can we positively change by having them get a leg up on getting a financial education. Because day one, he said, listen, education, you must get to educate. I mean, he was drilling that, and he would tell us, you're ready, but you're not ready. He
also said patience.
He said, you get the education, acquire the assets, and have patience, and you will be wealthy. Yeah. Now, we have a billionaire telling us that, and other billionaires telling us that. But we counter that with talking to people, and I have nothing against financial planners, people that make $100,000, $150,000 a year. We already did that. We've already proved that out. It does not work. There's nobody with these 401ks passing on wealth to the next generation. They might have a few dollars, but I'm talking about where the next generation gets to choose whether they want to work or not. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about legacy of the unborn, but that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about here. And we're here now because we got something like that that's going to give us, that breath of life, man. And when you you in your 30s, right? 30s, you still in your 30s? 40, 41,
42.
Man, please. You can still play basketball if you wanted to.
In my rebirth years, I'm only what is that? 2012. I'm on 11.
Oh,
so
okay.
My new years, new Islamic years, I'm on 11. So I'm 11 years old, brother.
Yeah. So as a father and a husband, being able to be the first generation, because I come from 100 years of college educated people, the first one to pass on wealth to the next generation, but do it while I'm living, not through an insurance policy and all that kind of stuff. We have those stuff in place, but to have assets. And then when you think about having assets and income that's always coming in, if you had a traditional business and your kids didn't want it, then what? I think everybody wants some money. Everybody, and we're gonna be able to handle it however it comes, because we're gonna be the last generation to use paper money, and we're already prepared for the transition.
Wow. Yeah, dang,
so we get to do that through GSPartners, man, and make all that stuff happen. And so I call it be just fortunate and blessed to not fuss and complain about losing everything and having to start all over again. Because when Renee and I got married, and we went to one of them marriage retreats. Oh. And I think we've been married a couple of years, because you got to figure out if you like each other or not. And we have our 36th wedding anniversary on Tuesday.
Congratulations, man. Hats off to you.
And we went through it's different activities, games, and all that kind of stuff. And then, where it comes, the rubber meets the road is when you were finishing up and you walked through this archway, and it was a beautiful archway. It was decorated with flowers and all that kind of stuff. And each couple came through the archway, and we were like, we were early 30s, because we got married late in 20, I think it was 27. And they read a scripture for each couple. And when ours came up, our scripture was Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Because we think when we lose something, that's harm. No, that's getting you prepared for something later and something greater. I was thinking about that real estate thing, and I had 35 properties. How am I going to help 50 people? How am I going to help 100 people? And now I'm on a platform now to help millions of people.
Millions.
So you got to watch the stuff, man. And to be here now and to know that scripture was always resting with us, because that word will accomplish what it said. It will not return void. It will not. So I already know we're destined to be just wealthy. It's already written, man. It's already done, man. We just looking for the vehicle. Willie Brown said the other day, he said, man, people go to church to get the word, and man, we just showing them the way. I said, shut the front door. I'm going to have to take that one from you, bro. So we got the way, man. And no matter what's going on in people's lives, no matter whether they got money or don't have money, whether they understand, whether they believe us or not, listen, we ain't out here trying to get nothing from it. We're trying to get something to you. So, just answer the call, heed the call, and we're going to help you change your lives, because our lives are already changed. And it's going to happen with or without you. We don't want to leave anybody behind. So we hope that they would come along on this journey of freedom, because man, we talk about seeing them white sandy beaches, man. We that's what we're doing, man. That's what we're doing. It's coming to pass.
Man, I just think about the relationship I have with my children due to this.
Oh my goodness, that's so, man. You and your lovely wife, man. That is so, because that's not normal. What y'all have, a young family, a young Black family, on their own terms, making their own decisions, don't have to answer to anybody. Man, that's rare air, bro. That's rare air. And so when you out here trying to say, listen, this air, we ain't trying to take it off. We ain't trying to be the only ones on the beach. You know,
me and my wife were talking earlier, man. I was telling her, I was like, I'm not from Tampa. I'm from Birmingham, right? But since I've been here, I'm not known here for a job. I never had a job since I've been. I have never applied for a job, never had a job. It ain't even really never come to a point, even when COVID hit and the income got depleted. You know what I'm saying? We still had enough faith, kept building, kept doing what we were doing. But folks that know me, they don't call me, ask me about no financial advice. They want to do their own thing. You feel what I'm saying? They don't even call and say, hey, man, you know what I'm saying, how you do this, how to do this, man. I'm tired. I'm sick of this.
Right.
They sit and watch, and they just look at it. They see it. You know what I'm saying? I had like one or two brothers down here ask me, one brother that really seen it when I got back from Africa, he was like, man, hey, listen, I'm trying to put in 25,000. Like he came on with it, right? You know what I'm saying? He ain't asked about the trip or nothing, because we telling you about the trip don't do nothing for you. Ain't gonna make you no free. You got to go experiencing it. Yeah. Because we had two experiences going to Africa. We went to guitar. Guitar is so peaceful, so nice, so clean.
Man, was that beautiful, man?
Huh?
Was that beautiful, man, or what? I mean,
it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I want to go back there and just visit, like just, you know what I'm saying? It was beautiful, man. It was really beautiful. And they say that Doha guitar is the capital of guitar where we was at. They say that's the second safest country in that part, or really the world, behind Dubai. They right there with Dubai when they come to that. And remember, the police they ain't have no guns.
Oh, no,
none of that. When they closed down their marketplace, they just put tops over there. They catch you with your hand in that, and it ain't your stuff. We ain't gonna see your hand no more, right? So us in the West, we look crazy. We think it's all right just to pick up stuff.
Right,
and just put it in our pocket, don't belong to us. I just found it. Okay. You don't go over there with that. Ain't no sweetheart and eating with your spouse. They don't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't do that. You see them brothers over there got 4 wives, 2 wives. They ain't colored up, walking around holding hands. Ain't none of that.
No.
None even sitting off that. You'll think it's his brother. You'll think they sisters and brothers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell y'all. It's a whole different thing over there than coming back to the West. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even when we was in Seychelles, the police had guns on the island. They ain't had no guns in Doha, Qatar. And I ain't been to Dubai, but they say Dubai the same. Right?
Yep.
It's a lifestyle, man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we get to live it. We get to live it in real time, in out in the open, and that's why we put out as much stuff as we can, because we want to be as transparent as possible, you know, so that everybody understands what's going on here. And this is all real, and it's all happening right now, and it's going to happen with or without you. We just you know, don't want to leave anybody behind, and that's the tough part.
Our brother, team member, my brother, young brother Jahar Muhammad said, don't compare us to nothing like that. You got to compare GSPartners to Amazon and Tesla.
Yep.
We changed it.
Only one. It's the only one. It's the only one.
You got to compare us to that, because we didn't literally change the game. We changed it. So when you come to us and we talk to you about crypto, it's a different conversation from buying low, selling high. We don't even push that.
Nope.
We got that, though. We got it. We got it on 2 different levels now, but we don't push that, though. We don't push that, though. We're going to show you how to get paid and utilize crypto for what it is. It's a currency. It's a medium of exchange. Oh, man, so I want to thank you. So before you go, Mr. McKay, tell everybody what social media platform, how they can find you and connect with you so they can follow you, because you're doing some great – you make more streams than me, to be honest.
Oh, please. I'm trying to catch up with you.
I be running replays, man. Your stuff be live all the time. As soon as I put a flyer out, here come your flyer. Bam, I'm like, damn, I ain't got time to go in there and really sit in.
No. You so fired, man. I gotta put my sunglasses on. That's how lit you are out there. I gotta put my sunglasses on, trying to keep up with you. But I'm Gregory McKay on Facebook, and I'm Gregory McKay official on Instagram. On YouTube, I'm Professor G on YouTube, and I got to get more out there, because again, we got to get this message out as much as we can, as often as we can, so that this becomes a natural thing, what we're doing for the masses, because we're built. There's already 800,000 of us in here around the world. We're already serving 170 countries. There's only 190 countries in the world. The ones we're not in is because they're volatile, and so we can't, we want to be someplace where it's peaceful. So we're serving the world practically right now in what we're doing. And so you can help us get this done, because far now we are looking at, we want to help people save $1 million in a 30-day period. You can help us do that by getting with him or getting with myself, so we can help you save money. We want to get to that $1 million every 30 days to help start transitioning things and helping things happen very, very, very fast. And we can help you start making money on your money in 7 days. So you'll never have to miss making money. Your money should be making money no matter what you do. This is not to replace your job. If you like still doing what you're doing, whatever you're doing, you always want your money to be making money while you sleep, whether you're sick, whether you're on vacation, no matter what. Your money should always make money. This is the principles of the wealth, and that's what we're practicing here, and that's what we're delivering here, and we're going to show you exactly how to do it. Exactly how to do it.
Well, thank you, Mr. McKay, for coming and gracing us with the time, brother. We call you back. You're gonna come back and grace us once again, right?
Oh,
so
absolutely,
absolutely. Get that hip on the phone and say, man, we need you to come back and bless us one more time.
Hey, listen, I'll come back when you have. You're probably gonna have a panel. You should have a panel, at the end after you start doing your interviews. That'll be good and stuff as well too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna bring us all back. All right. Well, I got some more wealth builders we got to get to. The Dominique Kerrs of the world, the Al Murray, the Ontario Smalls, my brother Dude Rockman. We got some brothers we got to bring on here. All right. So family, don't have a sufficient episode for next week. I will try to work on that and get that information out as soon as possible, because I was supposed to do the first couple, which is Kevin and his wife Shelby, but they're gonna come in September. They wasn't prepared. They're not prepared for next Saturday because they got something else they got to handle. But we will strive to bring them in September. So thank you, Mr. McKay. Glad that you can make it, and I salute to you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You hit executive and continental before me, but I done ran you down. So
let's keep running. Oh, and I do want to announce a live event September 9th in Gary, Indiana. So if you know anybody in the Gary, Indiana area, the flyers will be in on social media, posted all around there. You want to get to a live event. You want to be in the room where the energy is, because that's where energy flows. That's where it goes. I mean, you want to be there. So we'll be there, Gary, Indiana, 1 p.m. The flyer location, all that stuff will be out there. That's going to be September 9th. We'll look for you to be out there. So we lighten up the Midwest, giving you an opportunity to come out and meet and greet, shake hands, and see real live action accounts. And so you'll know what we're doing is real for you. So back to you.
Yes, sir, man. Well, thank you. Like I said, tuning in. Thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget, family, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us everywhere, and we hope to see you in Atlanta August the 25th, August the 26th. Hope to see you there. Hope to see you on the other side of freedom, family. So with that being said, family, we thank y'all for tuning in, and we are out.
Like to be more successful.
Easy switch from crypto to fiat to non-regulated and regulated.